everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kat and I'm using my YouTube channel to just try out different types of makeup techniques and get to know, more stuff about makeup, and so I just thought I would kind of share my journey with all of you out there. So for today, this is the second round of me attempting to do an Instagram look and having to edit it down to where it's between 5 to 10 minutes. And so for today's look, I do want to toss out there, it's going to be showing like some muscle stuff underneath the skin on parts of my face. And so if you're uncomfortable with that kind of stuff, it is more of like a special effects type look that I'm going to try and recreate with makeup for today. And so if you don't like that type of thing, feel free to click off, no harm, no foul, but just wanted to let you guys know beforehand. Not that I am talented enough to make this look super realistic. I just want to throw that out there right now. So it's gonna really, if anything, be more of a cartoony version, I guess, but I'm gonna do my best. And so now you know what look I'm going for. Essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have regular makeup on, and then I am going to break off part of my cheek, and then a section of my nose, and then a section of my forehead, and I am going to have it where it's essentially as if the skin is no longer there, and you can just see the musculature, and then maybe on the nose portion, perhaps like a section of where the bone stops, I guess. And so I just thought that would be kind of cool, and I've seen a bunch of people on Instagram do that. I'll make sure to link down below in the description a few of the Instagram handles for the people that really kind of inspired me for this, and let's just go ahead and jump into the base first. After applying my primer off camera, I jumped right into my eyeshadow with the Pat McGrath Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction eyeshadow palette. To cover my entire lid, I used the shade Entrapment. For the outside corner, I used the shade Disobedient. And then for my under eye, I used the shade Extreme Aubergine. On the center of my eyelid, I used the shade Rose Gold 005. And then on the inner corner, I used the shade Astral Luna Gold. The quality of my eyeshadow application should already be good foreshadowing of how badly this is gonna go, considering the fact that my left eye looks nothing like my right eye. To try and clean up the mess, I used the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Light 12, followed by the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation in the shade 185. I decided since I suck at brows that I was going to forego using the Instagram technique and just lightly feather them in instead, and for that I used the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 2.5. Next I moved on to bronzer, and for that I was using the NARS bronzing powder in the shade San Juan. To finish my cheeks I used the Milani powder blush in the shade Tea Rose and the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish highlighter in the shade Show Gold. Then I jumped right into finishing up my eyes with the Essence Lash Princess mascara and my lips with the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. So first up on my disaster face, I needed to make sure that I was drawing in the circles for where I wanted to place the quote muscles. And in order to do that, I used the Appeal Gel Liner in the shade Dolce. Once I was done with those circles, I used the same liner to attempt to map out where I wanted to have the ligaments and bone pieces and whatever else. And I mean, you can really see my talent for line drawing is just really being brought to the forefront at this point. By the end of this, I had to cut out probably close to 30 minutes worth of hesitation pauses because that's how unsure of myself I was throughout the entire thing. And now I've successfully drawn what appears to be two penises on the side of my cheek. Moving on to the forehead, it just gets better because all I do is draw a bunch of lines without any kind of shape to them. Next up, I grabbed the NYX retractable eyeliner in the shade White in an attempt to actually draw out the pieces of bone on my nose and my cheek. I will say that I think that the bone fragments are the only thing that ended up even looking remotely close to what it looks like in real life. Once I was done with the bone portions, I moved on to a different shade from the NYX retractable lip liner line. This one was in the shade Pretty in Pink, and it was my best effort to add some more lines to give this look some definition. Clearly, I did a great job of picking a natural pink for this look, and just more haphazard lines slapped on my forehead. Once I was done adding those overly pink lines, I thought it would be a good idea to add more of a red line instead. And so I grabbed yet another NYX retractable lip liner, and this one was in the shade Ruby, and I just went to town. I'm fairly certain this is the point at which I really realize that this is not going well. and it's probably not gonna end well, and I just start randomly drawing more lines. And then, because I figured, you know, this can't get any worse, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make everything darker. So I grabbed yet another NYX retractable lip liner, and this one was in the shade dark red, and I outlined all of the circles again in darker, and then also outlined the larger membrane portions of the muscle to really make my great line drawing stand out. There was definitely also a part of me as I was adding in this darker line that thought, hey, this is actually looking a little bit better. Maybe we can save it. And so since going darker seemed to have been the solution, my next thought process was, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab yet another darker lip pencil, and this one is in the shade Underground from Gerard Cosmetics. And when adding those lines failed me, I decided, okay, that means I need to go in with powder now. So I grabbed one of my singles from ColourPop in the shade Charge It, and I used a brush and smudged the shit out of it. When that failed to do anything, I thought, okay, I'm gonna grab yet another liner, and so I went in with a slate shade liner from L'Oreal Paris and outlined the outside edge again. And there's nothing quite like having a gray shade and a red shade mix to make a mauvey purplish shade really just have the look stand out in perfection. And now we've reached desperation mode, where I thought perhaps highlighting around said circles would make this look better, so I went back in with the NYX liner in white to try and save it. But did the highlighting actually do anything to fix this? Survey says nay, so what's the next best solution? Go in with another liner. And for anyone that was curious, this was the shade Ruby, again, that I was jumping into, as if that has any impact on the disaster that is my face right now. Okay, this is the final look. I think there's a ton of room for improvement on this one. I feel like it is very cartoony. I am not good at making super defined lines. This is just, I guess it's an okay starting off point, but I feel like I essentially have accomplished what like a 7-year-old would accomplish if they were attempting to do this. So, you know, I mean, can always get better. But hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. I would highly recommend that you check out the handles that I've left in the description for if you want to see what it looks like when you do this properly. But hopefully this was fun for everybody to see. You know, if you like the content, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't already, give me a thumbs up if you liked it, or a thumbs down if you thought it was trash. Other than that, just appreciate you guys being here and, you know, hanging out with me for a little bit. And other than that, just go have a good one.